Welcome to Mining Review Africa, and today we are speaking to Vusi Mabena, who's the Executive Secretary of the Mining Industries Association of Southern Africa, or better known as MIASA. Vusi, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Okay, now let's start. Can you give our audience an overview of MIASA? Why was it formed and what its objectives are?
Thank you very much. MIASA is Mining Industry Association of Southern Africa. It's an association of chambers of mines in the SADC region. Our members come from mining jurisdictions from 10 countries. Each of those countries have a chamber of mines. Our membership is restricted to chambers of mines. We were fragmented before 1998. Each one was for himself. But at that time, there was a forum of mining ministers in the region that wanted to engage with the private sector on a regional basis. And at that time, there was no MIASA. And then what we did was, and they scolded us that we were not organized. So we then started forming ourselves. 4 chambers from 4 different countries started it. And then we started growing. Our real purpose really is really to engage with the governments to address mining issues that affect the entire region, not specific countries. Although we do assist our members with their legislative and regulatory issues at country level, and we do best practices and we promote investment in the region. So that is what we do, and we try to assist in ensuring responsible mining to make sure that our members are actually in compliance and that there's responsible mining and that ESG principles are properly followed, and that we interchange leading practices around amongst ourselves. And that's basically what we try to do.
Okay. Now, Vusi, please tell me, these 10 countries each have a chamber of mines. So why is it important to bring everybody together to further mining in the region?
It's very important. Let me start with the African Union that actually established what you call the Agenda 2063. From it came the Africa Mining Vision, AMV, and thereafter, it was incumbent upon each region to customize the AMV to its own region and then customize it to country level. So we then had, we were best suited as a regional body to customize the Africa Mining Vision into the regional mining vision, which we have done. And in our challenges that is not properly followed through, and we're not working very close properly with the governments to make sure that the Africa Mining Vision lives. We are now busy giving comments to the SADC Secretariats, what we call regional mining protocols, which incorporate the Africa Mining Vision. We believe that with that we can have better collaboration. The region can respond properly with its legislative approaches or frameworks that will enable the region to engage in terms of export of mining goods and actually encouraging proper investment in the mining sector in the region. We have right now, for example, what is the buzz thing is the critical minerals.
Yes.
And we've got the East, the Europe and the West coming in and splitting us, And if we are not careful, by the time they leave, because we are not fragmented, we are not collaborating amongst ourselves, they're going to leave us as poor, as they have been doing for many years. So with the collaboration, we can work closer with our governments to actually make sure that we we have got harmony in terms of our legislation. We have got an agreed approach on how we engage with this. And we can have a proper strategy for value additions. The SADC Secretariat commissioned a project on battery mineral value chains. And how do we collaborate together to force those who want battery minerals to support battery mineral value chains in the continent? And the continent itself is a very rich market for batteries. We can create these industries here. We don't necessarily need to go and sell it to China or to Europe. They can make their own batteries. But here, we can make our own batteries and sell it to our own African markets. So that is really what we're trying to do. Why is it important that we do have this union of chambers of mines working together together with downstream industries, obviously, as well as upstream industries?
Absolutely. One final question, Vusi. You spoke about collaboration. The theme for next year's Mining Indaba is around partnerships and collaboration. And MIASA has been involved with Mining Indaba for quite some time now. Talk to me about the relationship that you have and why it's so important for your members.
It's critical. The ministers of mines migrate to Cape Town in February.
Yeah.
And they find time to go and promote their countries.
Yeah.
Okay? But there's a very big failure to migrate to a region and deal with issues on a regional perspective. So MIASA comes in there at a very strategic point to say, now that you are all here as ministers of mines, can we start something that we will pursue down the line on how are we going to continue to work together as a region? So that's very important. We started that. I was one of the brainchild initiator of what you call the Ministerial Symposium just before Mining Indaba starts.
Right.
And we bring together all the ministers, the African ministers, to come and talk about legislation and policy affecting their countries and how they can, and actually to share amongst themselves. How are they either promoting success of mining in their countries, or how is their policy and legislation discouraging investment in the continent?
Right.
And also, what kind of best practices are they implementing in their own countries, and everybody can learn from them, so that we can, for example, permitting issues is a big problem in Africa. Yes. But we do have a model country in our own region and in Africa as a whole, in Botswana.
Yeah.
Just one example. In Botswana, to get a permit is 90 days if you have complied with everything. In South Africa, it's more than 300 days.
Exactly. It could take you years. Yes.
And that Botswana then has got a leading practice. Why are other governments not learning from Botswana to make sure that, and then Botswana is successful. It is a mining jurisdiction, and it has been successful all the years because of all its proactive legislation and policies. Let's put it that way.
Absolutely. Well, Vusi Mabena, Executive Secretary of MIASA, thank you for joining us on Mining Review Africa today.
Thank you very much.